What's good? What's going on?
What they do is Nash100k.
We appreciate you, hopping on the platform, man. It's our first time together doing this. For sure, We out here in the park. It looks beautiful today.
Yeah, it's Orlando. It's so pretty outside today.
Yeah, for sure.
Love the city.
Yeah, for sure. So, just being the first time you're on my platform, I want the people to get to know who you are as a person before we get into the music, what you got going in the future. I want them to know who is Nash, you know what I'm saying? So let them know a little bit about your background and where you was born and where you was raised at.
Well, I'm Nash100k. I'm from the east side of Orlando, but I moved here in 2014, so it's like, I'm still from here. I don't care what nobody say. I was raised here. Like, the other half of my life was Orlando, so. But I'm from Buffalo, New York, across from Canada, so, we live over there too. I was born in Puerto Rico, so I got a couple things in me, a little everything.
How was that growing up, going from Puerto Rico to New York and then transitioning all the way down to Orlando? Like, for example,
honestly, it wasn't. How was New York?
Yeah, starting off over there.
It was easy. I was young, so it's like I transitioned quick. So my only issue was learning English. But I'm still learning that motherfucker. But it was easy. Moving over here was easy too. It's just the people is like different. Like, everybody just, like, some people just be too cocky sometimes, or motherfuckers just like act like everything a competition over here. Where I'm from, up north, like, we not like that. Like, we would work together for real. So coming down here, like, that's what I'm bringing, or what I've been bringing since I've been here. Is getting people together and try to, like, make shit happen. So.
What were some things that you can remember growing up, in your younger stages out there in New York? Anything memorable you remember living out in Buffalo? Niagara Falls?
The Falls, like, I was a kid. I was living my life. Like, I was a child. No phone, no none of that. Like, just straight outside. I mean, I don't know. I was just having fun. I was a kid. But when I moved out here, that's when I really started getting active. I'm like, okay, like, this a new beginning. Let me, like, come up with some other shit. And that's what happened.
How was Orlando when you first got over here? How was the difference? Did you see anything different when you first got here? I know you were just saying, like, the people are kind of, like, not trying to work with each other in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm an adult, that's how it be. Like, it's a lot of competition. Well, people try to make it a competition. But when I was younger, like, we were chilling. We was outside. But when I started getting into this music shit, it was around, like, 2016 when I started getting into this music shit. So ever since then, I just been lit.
What made you want to start making music?
Expressing myself, wanting people to feel or understand, or at least have somebody else to listen to so they could have an ease or something. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't know, shit.
I feel you. Was that something that you had all the time growing up, or was that something that you started adapting as you got older?
I'm a very emotional person. So, like, with this, if I could reach out to somebody with my music or make somebody else feel good with my music, I'm gonna do that. Like, yeah.
That's real. Was that like the key thing that you started realizing when you started making music?
Yeah. Getting to the people. Like, you can't do shit out here without people, without other people, regardless. Like, if they don't like you, you're not gonna be able to do shit with whatever you're trying to do. So it's like, yeah, it's always about the people. Like, fuck me, I know what I'm doing, but what can I do for them? For the people that really need it. Like, it be folks out here trying to get rich, or they are rich, but what you spending your money on, like, be for real. Like, be for real. What you really spending your money on? You're not really spending your money on nothing that's gonna be profitable or come back to you, or that's gonna help somebody else. So it's like, why the fuck you got all that money for?
If you could be in that position to have that essential amount of money, what would be one thing you would invest in? Like, for the community in a sense.
A home.
A home?
Yeah, I would invest in a home.
Okay.
In a shelter. But an upgraded shelter, not them dusty ass shits they be having them in. Like, I want to do something for the city one day.
that's something that you want to do for the city, like open up a shelter, places that people can.
Yeah, like you could come. You don't got nowhere to go. Like I could help you.
Yeah.
I could teach you, give you the resources. But that's the most I could do for you.
Is that something you always wanted to do, or is that something that happened like after a while you started realizing that's like a goal of yours?
It's something I always wanted to do. I was always a people person. Like I get along with people easy. I can have a conversation really easily. Like so, it was something I always wanted to do.
Okay, word. So getting back into the music, when you first started making music, how was that experience for you?
Fun.
Can you give it like a rundown of your first time in the studio or even recording?
My first time in the studio I was with DJ100. I would never forget that shit. That's my dog to this day. He produced Tweaked Out, but my first time in the studio, I was nervous, but I mean, I did good. It was a good song. We ain't never released that motherfucker, but it was good. Ever since, I just been plugged in. Like I went from DJ100 and I just started going to different producers, started meeting everybody. Then I started performing everywhere at Soundbar. Man, they done closed Soundbar down.
Yeah, man.
That
legendary
shit,
spot.
Boy, I'm trying to tell you, that's how you know we were lit for real. If you performed at Soundbar before, you really in the scenes. Like you really you been in the scenes, you feel me? So yeah, it's been lit. I'm not gonna lie.
So when you first made your first song, I know you said it didn't come out, but when you first made that first song, was it like full throttle after that? Was you just like performance, here, gig, whatever?
After my first song, okay, so my first time being in the studio was a while ago, like 2018 type shit. But then I stopped, and then I started going back to the studio around 2020. November 2020. By December 2020, I'm already performing in Soundbar, everywhere else, whatever. January, February 2021, and I just been doing it ever since.
What's your most memorable performance that you felt like it was the most lit time that you had?
At Crow, man.
Oh, you performed at Crow?
Yes, bro, with Quan 45 and 24K, bro. That shit was lit. I'm not gonna lie, it was me, my best friend Glow, Vic 2-time, and Honcho, man. We turned that bitch up. I ain't gonna forget about Flocka. That was my first time meeting Flocka and Hundo. They snapped. I'm not gonna lie, they went dumb too. But boy, we had Crow lit like a motherfucker. I give it to them.
Word. So after performing, doing all those new music and everything, what was something after that you started transitioning? Did your music start changing after that, or have you been consistently making the same type of music, your sound?
I make sure that my music changes. Like I'm the type of person, I don't like listening to the same type of music. Like I make sure I have a different type of vibe once in a while or something. So yeah, my music changes. Like it'll be the same, but it changes when I want it to change. But I'll come back to the same shit. So I'll switch it up.